Part 1 Introduction to Vietnam. A land of Asian civilization, breathtaking landscape, and resilient people, stretching along the eastern coast of Southeast Asia. Vietnam is a country shaped by mountain, river, forest, and sea. It is a nation where the thousands of years history coexists with rapidly growing modern city. For many travelers, Vietnam is known for its vibrant seafood, stunning rice terraces, and a dramatically limestone island. Yet beneath this famous image lies a much deeper story. Story of kingdom and empire, of culture exchange and independence, of resilience in the face of an extraordinary challenge. A people whose traditions continue to thrive in increasingly modern world. Geographically, Vietnam is one of the Asia's most diverse countries. In the center, history cities preserved the legacy of empire and dynasties. River caves pathways through the forest before reaching the South China Sea. Through the south, fertile plain and waterways supported one of the world's most productive agricultural regions. The country stretches more than 1,600 kilometers from north to south, creating a remarkable difference in climate, culture, and landscape. Yet, despite the diversity, a strong sense of a nation identity united the nation. Vietnam history spanned thousands of years. The kingdom emerged along the Red River Delta. This Scenic ruled from the imperial capital, trade connected to the regions to China, India, and beyond. Over centuries, the Vietnamese people development into a distinct culture shaped by both external influences and local traditions. Religions and spirituality continue to play an important role in daily life. Buddhist temple, Confucius tradition, ancient worship, and local belief exist side by side. Festival ceremony and family traditional remain deeply embedded in society. Today, Vietnam stands at intersections of the heritage and progress. Modern skyline rise above the historic neighbor. Technology innovation drive economic growth. At the same time, traditional market Asian temple, a rural community preserve a custom had endured for generations. This journey will take us across the entire country, from a historic street of Hanoi to a dynamic energy of Ho Chi Minh City. From the mountain of Sapa and Ha Giang to the emerald water of Ha Long Bay, from imperial Hoi An to the tropical beaches of Phu Quoc. Together, these destinations reveal a nation of extraordinary beauty, remarkable resilience, and enduring cultural richness. Part 2 Hanoi. A city where the past and present exist side by side. A place where ancient temples stand beneath the modern skyline, where tree-lined boulevards echo with centuries of history, and where the streets tell stories shaped by tradition, resilience, and transformation. As the capital of Vietnam, Hanoi is more than just a political center. It is a culture of the heart of the nation. A city was to witness the rise and fall of dynasties, colonial rules, war, and a remarkable economic growth. For over a thousand of years, Hanoi is reminded at the center of Vietnam's story. Founded in 1010 by Emperor Li Tai-to. The city was originally known as Thăng Long, meaning ascending dragon. According to the legend, the emperor saw a golden dragon rise from the Red River and considered it the sign that its location would become a great capital. More than a millennia later, that vision continued to resonate. Today, Hanoi is one of Southeast Asia's most fascinating cities, blending Asian heritage and modern ambition. At the center of the city Lake Hoan Kiem Lake. Known as the Lake of the Returning World, it is one of Hanoi's most beloved landmarks. Early each morning, residents gather around its shore. Some practice Tai Chi, or jog beneath the shade of the ancient tree. The atmosphere feels calm, relaxed, despite the bustling city is surrounded. In the middle lake of the start of Turtle Tower, a symbol closely associated with the Hanoi itself. According to a local legend, Emperor Lily returned a magical sword to the scared turtle in this watering after securing Vietnam independence century ago. The story remains an important part of the city's cultural identity. Just north of the lake lies Hanoi's famous Old Quarter, the historic district amazed of narrow streets, bustling market, and traditional shop house. For centuries, artisans and merchants are organized themselves by trade. Each street specializes its particular good. Silk merchants occupy one area, metal worker another. paper makers on not steel. Although the modern commerce has transformed the district, traces in this historic tradition remain visible today. Walking through the old quarter is an experience unlike any other. Motorbike whip through the crowded street. Street vendor prepare fresh meal and small side work. Local residents gather in cafe, market, and family-run business. The district alive with a moment, color, and energy. A hidden temple, a traditional courtyard, a century of buildings standing quietly between the newer structure. Food play an essential role in the daily life here. Hanoi is widely regarded as one of the Asia's great culinary capital. The aromas of simmering both glitter meat, fresh herb, and strong coffee fill the air through the city. Many dishes associated with Vietnamese cuisine originate here. Phở, bún chả, egg coffee. These are not merely meals, they are culture patches passed down through the generation. Street food stalls become gathering places where locals and visitors are same table. Yet, Hanoi is significant extended far beyond food and market. The city is home to some of Vietnam's most important historical and education institutions. Among them is the Temple of Literal, founded in 1070. It is one of the Vietnam's oldest universities and a symbol of a country's long traditional scholarship. A peaceful courtyard, stone steel, and traditional architecture proving a striking contrast to the surrounding urban environment. For centuries, scholars traveled here to study Confucius' teaching and prepare for examination that shaped the future of the nation. Nearby stands another important landmark, the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum. The monument structures honor Ho Chi Minh, a revered leader who played a central role in Vietnam's struggle in independence. Visitors from across the country come to pay their respect, reflecting the continuing importance of his legacy in modern Vietnam. Through the Hanoi, history remains visible. French colonial architecture lies many views and elegant views, government building, and historic hostels reflect a period profoundly wider, where colonial era structures exist alongside traditional Vietnamese architecture and contemporary skyscraper, illustrating many layers of Hanoi identity. The contrast movement creates a energy that feels quietly Hanoi. Yet, despite the rapid modernization, the cities retain a strong connection to the cultural root. Traditional festivals become celebrated. Ancient temples remain active center of worship. Family and traditional remain a center of daily life. This balance between the preservation and progress defines modern Hanoi. As the evening approaches, the city is transformed once again. Life reflects across the Hoan Kiem Lake. Street food stalls become the crowded with the dinner. From rooftop viewpoint, Hanoi stretches toward the horizon. Old neighborhood merge into the modern district, and capital that continue to evolve remainably deeply connected to traditional that define Vietnam. For many travelers, Hanoi is the beginning of their journey through Vietnam, including a destination capture that nation itself, complex, resilient history, and endless fascinating. Part 3. Ha Long Bay, a landscape unlike any other on Earth. A place where tons of limestone islands rise dramatically from emerald water, creating one of the most extraordinary skyscrapers ever formed by nature. Located in northern Vietnam, Ha Long Bay has become one of the country's most recognizable symbols. Its image appears in podcasts, traveler magazines, documentaries, and tourist campaigns from the world. The name Ha Long means descending dragon. According to Vietnam legend, dragon descended from heaven to protect the land from the invading forces. As they sweep across the sea, they scatter red jewel and jade into the weather viewer from the boat, an aircraft, or mountain viewpoint. The landscapes appear almost mythical. Ha Long Bay covers an area more than 1,500 square kilometers, containing nearly 2,000 limestone islands in itself. All supporting small fishing communities that have lived among these waters for generations. The formations themselves were shaped over millions of years through the geological processes in low evolving existing areas. The tectonic activity, wind and gathering curves the arches and hiding lagoons into the limestone. The result of this landscape that feel both ancient and timeless, and recognition its expression, beauty, and geological significance. Ha Long Bay was designed as an UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's widely regarded one of the most important nature attractions in Southeast Asia. For visitors arriving both This experience often begins at sunrise. It feels suspended between daily reality and dream. As sunlight spread across the bay, the limestone pebbles reveal their immense scale. Some islands rise vertically from the water. All supports dense vegetation that clings to steep cliffs. All the way together, they create a constantly changing panorama visible in every direction. This both negative through the narrow channel between the islands, allowing visitors to experience the landscape from within. From the deck, every turn reveals another breathtaking view: a hidden lagoon, a towering cliff, a scattered beach, or a cave concealed within the rock itself. Modern Bay is a famous attraction of Sung Sot Cave, often known as a surprise cave. Hidden inside limestone islands, a cave contains vast chamber filled with impressive structural installments. Colored lighting highlight natural formations that have development over countless centuries. Walking through this chamber feels like entering another world beneath the surface of the islands. Nearby Lune Cave also offer a very different experience, accessible by small boat or kayak. The cave opens into the peaceful lagoon surrounded by a steep limestone wall. The water reflects its surrounding cliff like mirror. The atmosphere serene and almost untouched. For many visitors, kayaking becomes one of the most memorable ways to explore Halong Bay. Moving silently across the water allows to close the connection to the landscape within the sound of the engine. Only the gateman movement patterns disturb the quiet. Birds circle overhead, fish movement beneath the surface. Nature dominates every moment. Beyond its geological wonder, Halong Bay is also home to communities who remain closely connected to the sea. For generations, fishing families adapted to life among these islands. Traditional floating village once formed an important part of the Bay cultural identity. Homes, school, and business operated directly on the water. Through the modernization has changed many aspects of the life in the region, this community remains an important part of the Bay history. Millions of visitors arrive each year, conserving an effort focused on preserving marine ecosystem, protecting biodiversity, and ensuring that future generations can continue to experience the Bay natural beauty. Balancing the tourism with sustainability remains one of the region's greatest challenges. Water reflects changing color like fast mirror. Gradually, daylight fades. The bay becomes quieter, more peaceful, more mysterious. Night settles in over landscape. Light from distant boats appear among the islands. The stars emerge above the sea, and for a moment, the modern world feels very far away. This is magic of Halong Bay, not simply its beauty, but its ability to inspire wonder, to remind visitors of nature's immense creative power. A place where legends, geological history, and natural beauty become together to create one of the world's most unforgettable landscapes. Part 4. Sapa, a land of cloud, mountain, and terrace rice field. Nestled high in the Hoang Liên mountain range, northern Vietnam, Sapa is one of the country's most breathtaking destinations. For many travelers, it represents a completely different side of Vietnam, a world far removed from bustling city of crowded coastline, a place where nature dominates the landscape and traditional culture continue to thrive along the mountain. Located more than 1,500 meters above sea level, Sapa enjoys colder climate than much of the country. During a certain time of the year, entire hillsides transform into a spectacular display of color. The region's beauty has captivated visitors for generations. Yet Sapa is more than a scenic destination, a place where diverse ethnic communities have lived for centuries, preserving traditions that remain central of their identity today. The story of modern Sapa began during the French colonial era. Attracted by the colorful mountain climate, French expeditions developed the area as hill stations that retreat from the heat of the lower lands. Roads were built, buildings were constructed, and Sapa gradually became known as one of the most beautiful mountain destinations in Indochina. Although much has changed since then, the region's natural appeal remains as powerful as ever. Perhaps its most iconic feature of Sapa is terrace rice field. During the planting season, Water reflects sunlight across the landscape like thousands of mirrors. Right named Monday Nature, the terrace turned vibrant shades of green. A landslide harvest time, entire valley glow bathed with autumn sun. These changing colors create some of the most celebrated landscapes in Southeast Asia. Yet the terraces are more than a beauty century. They are essential to local life. For generations, farming communities have people upon them to survive. Every terrace reflects countless of hard labor, knowledge, and cooperation passes down to the family over centuries. The people who create and maintain this landscape remain on the Sapa greatest treasure. Several ethnic minority groups call the region's home, including the Hmong, Dao, Tay, and Jai people. Each community possesses its own language, traditional clothing, and cultural practices. Walking through the local village provides opportunity to experience a way deeply connected to the surrounding environment. One of the most famous experiences in Sapa is trekking through the surrounding valley, path wind through the village, forest, river, and terrace hillside. Every turn reveals another spectacular view. Mountain ranges stretch toward distant horizon. Water buffalo gaze in open field. Farmers walk beneath the towering peak. A landscape feel both vast and animated at the same time. Known as a roof and Indochina, Fancy Fang rise to elevations more than 3,100 meters, making it the highest mountain in Vietnam and the highest peak of the Indochinese Peninsula. For decades, reaching from the summit required demanding multi-day trek through the dense forest and the rugged terrains. Today, the modern cable car system allows many more visitors to experience the mountain's extraordinary view. The journey itself is unforgettable. As the cable car ascends, valley disappear, beneath cloud, mountain peak emerge through the mist. The scale of landscape becomes increasingly apparent. At the summit, panoramic views stretch across the vast section of northern Vietnam. On a clear day, endless layers of mountains extend toward the horizon. The experience provides a powerful reminder of country's geographical diversity. Birds and wildlife inhabit protected nature areas that remain largely untouched. These ecosystems support both diversity and traveler livelihood. Protecting them has become increasingly important as the tourism continues to grow. Like many popular destinations, Sapa faces challenges associated with modernization and development. Balancing growth with the sustainability will have to ensure that future generations can continue to experience the unique character of the region. In moments like this, it becomes easy to understand why travelers are drawn to this remarkable place. It is a destination where the landscape inspires wonder. This community preserves centuries of the heritage, and where the valley tells a story. A place where Vietnam reveals one of the most beautiful and authentic faces, and where the journey through the country's northern highlands becomes truly unforgettable. 5. Ha Giang Loop. The final frontier of the northern Vietnam, a land towering mountain, wind-roped, deep valleys, and breathtaking landscape that seem untouchable by time. Located at Vietnam's northernmost edge near the border with China, Ha Giang is often considered one of the country's last great adventures. Unlike many famous tourist destinations, Ha Giang remains relatively isolated for much of its history. Its rugged terrain limited access. Its mountain-protected Asian tradition and remote location preserve a sense of power that continue to attract travelers seeking something beyond the ordinary. For those who arrive here, the reward is extraordinary. Ha Giang is home to some of the most spectacular scenery in Southeast Asia. Jackets Peak rise from the endless valley. Rhine River covered passes through the deep gorge. Terraces cling to mountain's side, and road wind through the landscape so dramatically that they often appear unreal. Unlike the traditional sightseeing destination, Ha Giang is defined by movement. The journey itself is an attraction. Motorcycle weave through the narrow mountain road. Clouds drift across the distant peak. Small villages emerged unexpectedly from the landscape. The experience feels less like tourism and more like exploration. Perhaps no localities better symbolize Ha Giang than Ma Pi Lang Pass, widely regarded most beautiful mountain pass in Vietnam. It follows the eight-step cliff overlooking Nhoi Quay River. Standing at one of the viewpoints, visitors can see the vast sections of the surrounding landscape extending far beyond the horizon. The sense demonstrates the immense geological force that has shaped the region over millions of years. The beauty of Ha Giang extends beyond its mountain. The province is also the Dong Van Kras Plateau, a UNESCO Global Geopark recognized for its exceptional geological significance. The high altitude regions contrast Asian limestone formation dating back hundreds of millions of years. The landscape appears rugged and dramatic. Rocky peaks dominated in horizon. Spare vegetation grows among the stone formation, and village seems to emerge directly from the mountain themselves. The plateau is one of the oldest geological regions in Southeast Asia. Its rock contains vast Pacific Ocean that once converted the area. Today, this ancient formation created one of the most unique environments in Vietnam. Human life adapted remarkably to this condition. Ha Giang is the home to the numerous ethnic minority groups, including the Hmong, Tay, Chao, Lono, and many others. Each community possesses distinct tradition, language, clothing style, and cultural practices. Markets serve an important gathering place where the people from different villages come together to trade goods, exchanging news, and they maintain society connection. Many traditions really deeply connected to the natural environment. Agriculture follows the seasonic cycle. Festivals celebrate local custom. Knowledge passes on generation to the next through daily life and community experience. Among Ha Giang's most fascinating destinations is Stone Van Quoc Old Quarter. Nestling within the mountain, this historic settlement preserves agriculture influenced by both Vietnamese and Chinese tradition. Stone house like narrow street, market continued century-old trading parties, and an atmosphere reflect a unique blend of cultures shaped by geography and historical nearby stand Hmong King Palace. Often called the Vương Palace, the complex once served as the residence of a powerful local family. Its architecture combines Chinese, French, and traditional Hmong influences. The structure often insight into the region's complex and the role located leader played within the remote highlands. Winter blending into mist, cold temperature and oceanic even frost in the high peak. Autumn transforms the terrace field into the golden wave of ripe harvest. Summer brings the lush rugged landscape nourished by seasoning. Each season reveals a different side of the province. Each shatters its own beauty. In moments like this, it is easy to understand why many travelers describe Ha Giang as the highlight of their journey in Vietnam. It is this experience, a place that challenges relaxation, a place that rewards courtesy, and a place that reveals a side of Vietnam rarely seen elsewhere. Ha Giang is a road become adventure, here where mountains dominate the horizon, and where every journey offers possibility discovering something extraordinary. A region divided not by moment or city, but the raw beauty in nature itself. Part 6. Hue, a city of emperor, poet, and ancient tradition, nestled along the bank of perfumed river in central Vietnam. Hue stands as one of the country's most historically significant destinations. A place where emperor ruled, scholars studied, and royal ceremony shaped the future and the nation. Today, Hue remaining living reminder of Vietnam imperial past, unlike fast-paced energy of Hanoi or modern dynamism of Ho Chi Minh City. Hue moves a different rhythm. The atmosphere feels quieter, more reflective, more connected to history. Every street, monument, and representative pathway seems to carry echoes of the Banda era. The story of Hue as imperial capital began in 1802. That year, Emperor Jialong established the city as center of newly unfolded Nguyen destiny. For the next 143 years, 13 emperors were ruled from here. During the period, Hue became political, culture and spiritual heart of Vietnam, inspired the principle of the fusion governance and influences Chinese imperial architecture. The Nguyen ruled constructed of the South Asia's most impressive royal complexes. At the center of this legacy stands Imperial City, surrounded by massive stonework defense moat. The complex serves as a seat royal authority. Beyond its gate-lay practices, temple, admiring building, gathering, and a settlement space designed to support the functioning of the imperial court. Within the imperial city stood the Forbidden Purple City, a restricted area reserved exclusively for the emperor and the member of the royal family. Massive red flame elegant courtyard, traditional architecture reflect both power and refinement. Yet, Hoi imperial legacy extends far beyond the city wall. Unlike simple brutal sites, these complexes were designed as elaborated monuments celebrating their life and achievement. Compact way, elegant, bright, and carefully planned landscape create a sense of balanced scenery. Nearby, the tomb of Emperor Khai presents a striking contrast. Its design incorporated both traditional Vietnamese elegance and European influences, reflecting a parallel increasing interaction with the outside world. Intricate mosaic, decorative detail, and romantical architecture make one of the most visually distinct royal monuments in Vietnam. Flowing gently through the city is performance river. For centuries, this gateway served as a vital transport route connected to imperial capital the surrounding region. Today, it remains one of the Hoi defining features. Traditional dragon boats glide across the calm water. Ancient pagodas overlook the shoreline, and the tree funded. The river has inspired countless poems, songs, and works of art. The fascinating continue to shape the character of the city. One of the most iconic landmarks around the river is Pin Mu Pagoda, standing atop the hill overlooking the water. This seven-story tower has become a symbol of Hue itself. Founded in early 17th century, the pagoda remained an important religious and cultural site. An elegant south high appeared in photographs, painting, and travel literature to Vietnam. Royal patronage body literature, architecture, and the art, helping establish Hue as one of the most Vietnam's leading centers of learning and creativity. Recognized by UNESCO as an important element in Burmese cultural heritage, these musical traditions continue to preserve and perform today. Imperial cuisine developed within the royal court. A chef prepared everyday meals designed to satisfy the emperor and distinguished guests. Presentation was considered just as important as flavor. Many dishes associated with Hue reflect this attention to detail. Small portions, refined preparation technique, and elegant presentation continue to characterize local cuisine. Small portions, refined preparation technique, and elegant presentation to local cuisine. Yet, Hue's story is solely one of the royal expander, preserving its effort, cultural pride, and a commitment to protecting the historical heritage have helped to ensure that city's most important landmarks survive for future generations. As the evening falls, the perfumed river reflects a warm glow and light along its bank. An ancient wall casts long shadow across the quiet courtyard. Temple bells echo softly in distance. The atmosphere becomes peaceful, almost timeless. And while the Vietnam imperial past can still be experienced in remarkable detail, Hue is more than a former capital. It's a bridge between the centuries, a garden of memory, and one of the most important cultural treasures in Vietnam. Part 7. Hoi An and Da Nang. Along Vietnam's central coastline and regions where history, culture, and modern development come together in remarkable harmony. Hoi An and Da Nang. One preserves the atmosphere century trading part. The other embraces the generally rapidly growing modern city. Together, they formed one of the country's most fascinating travel experiences. For many visitors, the journey begins in Hoi An, a place that seems suspended between the past and present. Located beside the Thu Bon River, Hoi An was one of the Southeast Asia's most important commercial centers. From the 15th to the 19th century, merchants from China, Japan, India, and Europe arrived here to exchange goods, ideas, and cultural exchanges. Ships filled harbor, market thrived, and the town became crossroads of the international trade. Unlike many historical cities in the region, Hoi An escaped much of the destruction that accompanied modernization that conflict during the 20th century. Today, walking through the Hoi An feels like stepping into another area. Narrow street wind between the yellow painted building, wooden shop house lie in the road. Traditional architecture reflect influences from multiple cultures. Chinese assembly hall stand near the Japanese-inspired structure. Vietnamese home blends seamlessly with the century-old Khmer building. The results unique urban landscape unlike where anywhere else in the country. At the heart of the ancient town of the Hoi An, most recognizable landmark, the Japanese covering the covered bill. Built in the late 16th century, the bridge is connected to different sections of the traditional community and became symbol of cooperation between the cultures. Its elegance defined the both between and influences. Today, it remains one of the most photographed sites in Vietnam. Yet, Hoi An's true magic emerges as the evening approaches. As daylight fades, thousands of the colorful lanterns illuminate the street. Their reflections dance across the Two-Bone River. The atmosphere becomes almost dreamlike. Restaurant, cafe, and traditional slopes glow beneath warm light. Visitors stroll along the riverfront pathway while the boat rip quietly through the water. Lanterns have become one of the Hoi An defining symbols. The tradition reflects a century of cultural exchange and art craftsmanship. Many local families continue to production handmade and lantern using technique passed down through the generation. Their vibrant color interacted, the design contributes significantly to the town's distinct identity. The Lantern Festival handled through the year to further exchange this atmosphere. Electric lighting are dimmed. Traditional performers fill the public space, and the ancient town before appeared as much as behind a century ago. Beyond its architecture and Hoi An is also known as culinary heritage. The town developed an unique food culture influences by both local and ingredient and internal trade. Signature dishes such as kao, white roast dumpling, and mi kwang reflected the region's diverse of the historical connection. Food remained essential part of the visitor attraction, offering another way to understand the cultural richness of the central Vietnam. Just so line distant not line the Da Nang. If Hoi An represents the past, Da Nang represents the future. One of the modern coastal city, Da Nang has transformed into the Vietnam's most dynamic urban center. Modern skyscrapers rise along the Han River. White buildings connect to the expanding district. A new and spectacular feature continue to reshaping the skyline. Yet, despite the rapid development, the city is closely connected to the nature. Among Da Nang's greatest attractions by the Mi Quebec, stretching kilometers along the coastline. The beach is renowned for soap and sand, clear water, and gentle water. By evening, families and visitors gathering to watch the sunset over the Southern China Sea. A reminder that even rapidly developing the city can maintain strong connection to the nature environment. Rising above the city are Marble Mountain. The cluster of limestone and Maple Hills attracts pilgrims, monks, and travelers to the sanctuary. The combination spiritually, geology, and scenic beauty create one of the central Vietnam's most distinct attractions. Future West and another extraordinary destination await. Bana Hill, located in high mountain overlooking Da Nang. This resource complexes has become internationally famous for one particular beach. The Golden Bridge, supported by two animal stars and emerging from the mountainside. The bridge appears almost surreal. Photographer is almost structure quickly spread around the world, transforming it into one of Vietnam's most recognizable modern attractions. Beyond its striking design, the bridge is a spectacular view across the forest, valley, and distant coastline. Yet perhaps no structure better symbolization modern Da Nang than Dragon Bridge. One weekend, crowds gathered to watch spectacle performance during the which dragon appeared to breathe the fire and water. The spectacle reflects Da Nang has the ability to combine traditional with innovation. Yet the city planners is also emphasizes livability, environment protection, and public space. As a result, Da Nang is frequently recognized as one of the Vietnam's most desirable places to live. Despite their different, Hoi An and Da Nang complement each other perfectly. And together, inspire about the future. Together, they demonstrate the diversity that defines Vietnam itself, a nation capable of honoring a heritage while pursuing transformation. Yet, both contribute to the story of the country constantly evolving that remain deeply connected to its past. And together, they perform the most unforgettable region in all of Vietnam. 8. Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam's largest city, is the economic engine and one of the most dynamic urban centers in Southeast Asia. Yet beneath the modern skyline lies the complex history that shaped not only the city itself, but the entire country. Known for much history as Saigon, the city has long served as an important center of trade, culture, and commerce. The strategic location along the major waterway helped transform it into one of the most significant cities in southern Vietnam. Over time, merchants, settlers, and travelers from many parts of Asia and Europe contributed to development. The result was a city characterized by diversity, ambition, and constant movement. Today, more than 10 million people call Ho Chi Minh City home. The street pulses with activity from dawn until long after midnight. Market bustle with commerce. Construction cranes reshape the skyline. Located in the heart of District 1, the market has become a symbol of Ho Chi Minh City itself. For more than a century, merchants have gathered here to sell everything from fresh products and spice clothing, handicraft, and souvenirs. Inside narrow alleys, visitors through the maze of color, sound, and aroma. The market provides a glimpse into a daily life while reflecting the anthropism spirit that defines much of the city. A short distance away stands another famous landmark, the Saigon Central Post Office. Designed during the French colonial period, the building combines eruption and architecture influences with local elements. Together, the building offer a reminder of period that profoundly influences the city development. Walking through the central Ho Chi Minh City reveals a fascinating blend of old and new. No discussion Ho Chi Minh City would be completed without acknowledging its role in Vietnam modern history. Also, its revenue palace, the building served as a central political authority during the critical period in the country's history. Visitors can walk through the conference hall, reception room, and offices that witness important decisions during the time profound change. Another important world remain museum. While subject matter can be emotional and thought-provoking, it offers valuable context to understand the resilience, determination, and the influence of Vietnam development. Yet Ho Chi Minh City is clearly defined by its future. Its recent decade, economic reform, rapid growth have transformed into urban landscape. Technology, company, startup, and multiple corporations continue to establish their presence through the city. Perhaps nowhere is transformation from more visible than the modern skyline. Gas tower rise above the Saigon River. Among them stand the landmark mystical Festival Tower, which became a symbol of Vietnam's economic ambition during the early 21st century. For centuries, it served as a transportation route connecting to the region's international trade network. Today, riverfront development park and deep-basin space provide new opportunities to recreation and tourism. Food, however, remains Ho Chi Minh City's greatest attractions. Street vendors prepare a local spectacle on busy sidewalk. Traditional family restaurants serve a recipe passed down for generations. Chefs experiment with a new interruption of the classic dishes. Whether enjoying a simple bowl of noodles, the dining rooftop restaurant overlooking the skyline, visitors quickly discovered why Vietnam cuisine is celebrated around the world. Restaurant filled with customers. Music built into the public space, light illuminated skyscraper and historical landmark alike. The space is really slow. For travelers exploring Vietnam from the north to south, Ho Chi Minh City is often feel like the culmination of the journey. It is a place where history, culture, commerce, and innovation converge. And the city that embodies that ambitious resilience of modern Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh City is more than a country economic center, and destined to grow, and a powerful reminder of how far Vietnam has come while continuing to look forward to the future. Part 9. Vietnam, a country of the extraordinary contrast, a land where ancient traditional and modern ambitions exist side by side, and where a thousand of year history continue to influence its everyday life. Through the journey, we have traveled from the historic street of Hanoi to emerald water of Pa Long Bay, from the terraced mountain of Sapa to dramatic landscape of Ha Giang to imperial heritage of Hue. We have walked beneath the lantern street in Hoi An, witnessed transform to Da Nang and experienced unstoppable energy of Ho Chi Minh City. Vietnam's greatest treasures are not found solely by monuments, beaches, and all wonder. They are found by its people, in farmers who cultivating rice terraces in high-end mountains, in the fishermen who native river and coastline pass it down to generation, and in the artisans who preserve a traditional craft, and the family who custom, valor, and traditional continue to connect the past with the present. Across the country, history remains visible. It offers understanding. Every city, village, mountain, and river tell a story of preservances, a story of community, and a story of a culture reaching a remarkable transformation. And perhaps why Vietnam left much of lasting impressions who on visit, not because in any single destination, not because in any single landmark, but because the journey as a whole, a journey through the landscape shaped by nature, through communities shaped by traditional, as the sunset over the rice field in the north reflect across the water of Ha Long Bay and disappear beyond the coastline at the south. Untruth become clear. Vietnam is more than a destination. It is a story, culture, people, journey. Long after the trip has ended, a memory remains, waiting to inspire the next adventure and until the next destination safe travel.